Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another edition of Hilaal Live. It's Thursday, which means we discuss all things motorsport related. And over the last couple of weeks, we've had some great, interesting guests, and it's the first one for this year. And inshallah, we'd like you to be part of the show. We're going to open up the WhatsApp line a bit later. We're trying to build a car community and let you know about all the exciting events happening in the Cape and South Africa area as well. One such event, the event that I'd like to maybe talk about today, is the Classic Car and Bike Show, which is happening this weekend. And joining us via our Zoom link is the organizer for this event, Colin Greyvensteyn. Colin, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Great to have a platform like this to advertise the show a little bit.
No, my absolute pleasure. Now, you've built up the show over the last couple of years. For those that don't know too much about the history of this event, where did this all start, and is this an annual event?
Yes, it's an annual event that's been going in its current format for about 20 years. It ran in a different format for about 10 years prior to that. About 20 years ago, Jo Haysalmon from the IPA took over, and she ran it until just before COVID. We took a brief hiatus during that, and then Jo kindly handed over the reins to the show to myself and a number of others. I'm just one of many people involved in the show at the beginning of last year. And so we took over last year for the first year, and then this is our second year now trying to continue her legacy.
Brilliant. Well, I would imagine 20 years down the line, the crowds have really picked up, and I would imagine that you've built up a bit of a following. What is your crowd expectancy this year?
On the Saturday, we normally expect between 2,000 and 2,500 people. And then on the Sunday, we're expecting between 3,000 and 3,500 people. That's based on last year's numbers. The sort of interest in the show this year has been absolutely incredible. We've had so many people apply to bring their cars, to either put their cars in the auto jumbles for sale side, to be vendors. So we really are hoping for a massive turnout. And we'll just have to see quite how many people arrive on the day.
Okay. So when we think and talk classic cars and bikes, what are we talking? Is it a specific year model? Is there a cutoff with regards to, the year that that car was, was made?
It's a very difficult question to answer because everybody's classic is a different thing.
Right.
Strictly speaking, we talk about veteran cars in this country as pre-1919.
Okay.
Classic, vintage and post-vintage cars are between the two world wars, and then classic cars are post-World War II, running generally at the moment up to sort of the 90s or early 2000s, depending on what you're looking at. So if you look at our advertising, we sort of loosely define the 2 days as Saturday for modern classics and Sunday as vintage classics, which I know is a bit of a contradiction of terms there. But by and large, Saturday will be a lot of individual exhibitors. There's a lot of modified cars there. You'll see VWs of all kinds, a lot of Fords, a lot of that kind of thing, and then a lot of the sort of custom car scene. There's some really good builders who are bringing cars around on the Saturday. And then Sunday are your more sort of old school established clubs. So that'll be people like the MG Car Club, the Crank Handle Club, the Early Ford Car Club. And those are generally older cars, and there'll be a lot of pre-World War II stuff there. And those are sort of more original cars, if you will. Although that's a very big simplification of what it really is, because on both days there's amazing stuff, and I'd encourage everybody to come on both days.
Nice. Do you have a bit of a schedule planned with regards to how the 2 days are going to unfold? Is there any judging? Is there any competitions that you would like to tell our viewers about?
Currently, we like to keep it very informal. There isn't any sort of a schedule as such, because you don't want to get there in the morning and then find out the cool stuff is happening in the afternoon. So it's very much a static display. Everybody is there all day, so you can come at any time and you will see everything. We will have a small sort of judging competition that we'll hand out at the end of the day for the best display of every day, and that might go to an individual or it might go to a car club.
Right.
But again, very informal. A highlight always, and they'll be there again this year if you've got kids, is the Winelands Light Railway. They'll have a scale steam engine there.
Okay.
They put water in it, they put coal in it, they light it, and it actually runs on the trailer there, and there'll be lots of smoke and whistling and that sort of thing. So if you've got kids, don't miss that one.
I'm just sad that it's only for the kids. The big kids would also like to get on those and enjoy the fun as well. But it's, I would imagine, quite an attraction. What else can our viewers look forward to? Over the years, have you built specific car clubs, and how far do people come from?
People come from all over the place. We have people driving in from Knysna, all over the Western Cape. There's a couple of guys that have said they're flying down from Joburg to come and attend the show. So it really is an incredibly diverse crowd and diverse exhibition. There's not just the cars to see, obviously. Over the years, something that's become incredibly popular is the auto jumble field.
Okay.
And that basically is a lot of guys have these car spares in their garages. They don't necessarily need them anymore because they finished the car they're building, or maybe they inherited it from a family member. So they come out there and they exhibit what they've got for sale. So if you, for instance, have got a Volvo and you don't really know where to get parts for it, and you've exhausted all other avenues, come around. You may find that one gauge that you've been missing. You might find that one headlight that you've been missing, or a piece of chrome or something like that. And I think this year, there's about 30 or 35 of those traders.
Nice.
So definitely something to come see there.
I like that.
And it's something that the car scene has always been about. You can't just import everything from overseas. So you'll also find a lot of those guys are very helpful. Let's say you go to the chap selling his Volvo spares, for instance, or his Alfa spares. He very well might know where you could get other parts for your car if he doesn't have them. So it's very much a community of car people helping each other, and that's what the show has always been about.
Brilliant. Over the years, has it evolved? Is there something that you particularly like to see or look forward to seeing at the car show and bike show?
Something that I've always enjoyed. I like really old cars.
Okay.
So the Crank Campbell takes the oldest car in the country there. It's a 1901 Benz Ideal.
Wow.
And they'll also have a 1902 Wolseley there. So if you're into the really old stuff, there's that to see. And also the motorcycles. The motorbikes are only there on the Sunday. But there are some amazing things there, and they range also from stuff from the turn of the century all the way through to the 1990s. Again, the show has grown sort of from, I think in its beginning years when Joe did it for the first couple of times, there were 1 or 2 fields, and now we have 7 exhibition fields. So
amazing.
Every year it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and more people want to come and bring their stuff.
Amazing. Weather looks to be okay for the weekend, so we have no rain. I think a little bit of wind, but pretty much sunshine. So anyone wanting to come through and experience the day, I think they're in for a treat.
Absolutely, yeah. Bring your sunblock, bring your hats. The parking is happening up at Timor Primary School.
Okay.
There's free parking there on the big field. There's a security guy there. Your stuff will be safe. And bring along your kids and bring yourself hungry as well, because I think we've got about 20 or 30 food traders.
Oh, nice.
Of all sorts. There's a big beer garden for those who want those, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. And there's also quite a few stands throughout the show selling various automobile-related goods. So key rings, mugs, artwork, T-shirts, all that sort of things. Anything related to automobiles is at the show.
Okay. What time do we start? What time do you hoping to end in the afternoon?
The show opens at 10 o'clock for the public, and be there sort of before 3:30, because at about 3:30 we open the gates, and you'll start seeing a lot of the cars start to leave. So your prime time is to be there between 10 and 3:30 in the afternoon, although we will run until about 4 o'clock if some of the guys want to watch the cars driving out.
Okay, $50 gets you in. Under 12's free, I believe.
Yes, that's it. And all the proceeds go to charities. One of the main charities we've always supported is the Kaylee campaign. This is also one of the main fundraisers for the IPA. There are links on our website to both those charities. Please do go check them out. And there's about 8 to 10 other charities that we also try to support.
Okay, fantastic. Very quickly, let's run through the address so people know exactly where to come through.
It is on the corner of St. John's and Timor Hall Road. So that's Timor Hall Villa. If you plug that into Google Maps, Timor Hall Villa, it'll take you straight there.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks very much, Colin. All the best to you and the team. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to the event. It's been a lot of months and nights and days in the planning, and I'm sure everything's going to go fantastically well. We can't wait to be there. We're going to do some interviews and speak to a couple of the classic and bike car owners as well, inshallah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. All the best. There we go. That's Colin from the Classic Car and Bike Show that's going to happen this weekend at Timor Hall. Just plug it into your GPS and you'll find it. Starts at about 10, finishes at about 4 each day. You don't want to miss out. If you haven't planned your weekend, maybe take the family and come and join us this weekend, inshallah. After the break, we chat to a legendary motorsport driver who's been in the game for quite a while. We catch up about how he got started and some of his highlights in his amazing career. You are still watching Hilaal Live.